Hello, I have something interesting to show you. This is what's left of our Nissan Primera P11 144. Have a look. That is part of the engine. There we go. That is one of the cross members, and this is part of the suspension. I think it's fair to say this car had a slight issue with rust. Welcome to CarSpyTV. This is the story of our 1999 Nissan Primera P11 144. I'll reveal its specification, I'll tell you some of the fantastic things this car did. I'll also mention that day it catastrophically let us down and cost a fortune to repair, and then I'll conclude by explaining why after 17 years we eventually had to get rid of it. Well, we got rid of most of it. This Nissan Primera had a 2-litre, 4-cylinder inline petrol engine that produced 140 horsepower, 6-speed continuously variable automatic transmission, and of course front-wheel drive. It also had the Sport Plus trim, which put it towards the top of the Primera range and included various sporty features. Highlights included low-profile tyres to optimise the handling, white instruments, and sporty seats with partial leather. Now, this is the original sales brochure from 1999, and Nissan were really pushing the whole sport thing. And that's because around this time, the Primera was doing really well at the British Touring Car Championship. In fact, it was winning titles. So, let's have a look and see what the brochure says specifically about the Sport Plus. It said, exhilaration from start to finish. The new Primera Sport Plus is no ordinary car. Even standing still, its aerodynamic body exudes a confidence rarely seen in a car of this class. But it's once you're out on the road that its true abilities and a racing pedigree reveal themselves in all their glory. Now, let me just show you that page so you can have a closer look. That was the paragraph I was just reading you. There's a picture. That colour, that's the one we had. That's Starburst Silver. Moving across to the other page. Just a few pictures and comments for you to enjoy if you feel so inclined. There we are. To be honest though, this car wasn't really sporty in any sense other than its name. It was a practical, reliable, easy to live with family estate car. That was its key strength. To be honest, I've driven more sporty wheelbarrows. Now, this Nissan Primera P11 144 was a fantastic workhorse, and it just did anything we asked it to do. To be honest, sometimes we asked a bit more than was reasonable. For example, we once spent about 6 months renovating a house. This house needed a new roof, it needed a kitchen, it needed a bathroom, it needed flooring, it needed just about everything. So there was an enormous amount of material coming in and going out, and a great big chunk of that went in the Nissan Primera. But it just did it. It didn't break down, it didn't groan under the weight, it didn't struggle to accelerate, it just worked, as you expect from a Nissan Primera. Despite this car's many strengths, there was one particularly bad day. We were on the motorway at 70 miles per hour and the car just started to lose a little bit of power. It wasn't much, but it was noticeable. This quickly got worse though, so in no time at all we were down quite a lot of power. Luckily, we were quite close to our destination, which was a car park in London. So we just coached the car on all the time, losing more and more power, but just about managing to keep it going. And I'm not exaggerating here, by the time we got to the car park, we had no power at all, and we literally coasted down a hill and just about managed to squeeze it in to a parking space. And that was it. The car was done. It couldn't move at all. It couldn't even reverse out that parking space. So we called the recovery company and had the car towed home, which was several hundred miles. The problem turned out to be the stepper motor in the automatic transmission. In simple terms, the car couldn't change gear properly. And and guess what? It was horrendously expensive to repair. It cost £800 all those years ago, and adjusted for inflation, that's more than £1,100 today. Ugh. Are we still paying that off? Yeah. Don't get me wrong though. This car was fantastically reliable for most of its life. Typical expenditure was maintenance items such as tyres, brakes and that sort of thing, and it was only occasionally that we had to buy something extra like a new suspension bush. Despite its longevity, this Nissan Primera P11 took its final bow in 2016, and there were many reasons why. Rust was one of the main problems. Even the fuel pipe was rusty, so it leaked petrol all over the driveway. That wasn't fun. There was also rust on significant components underneath the car that needed to be strong, and the bodywork was a mess. Furthermore, the engine kept cutting out, which again was quite dangerous, and nobody could figure out why. The car also needed 4 new tyres, new brakes all around, and various other bits and pieces. Bottom line, from bumper to bumper, the whole thing was worn out, and it would have cost an immense amount of money to sort it out properly. So, reluctantly, we sold the car to a dealer for £100, which was slightly above scrap value and a fair price on the day. This is the last photo we have of the car parked around the back of that garage. So that's the story of our Nissan Primera P11 In its prime, it was a fantastic car and it served us well for many years, but as with so many cars, rust effectively killed it in the end. But never mind. Now, I've got all kinds of interesting content coming up for you on this channel, so don't forget to subscribe now so you don't miss out. I'm also curious, what do you think about this car? Do you like it? Do you hate it? If so, why? Let me know in the comments section of this video. Oh, and can you also please do me a favour and click like on this video? Right, that's all for now. I'll see you next time.